Yeah, so second video here, and in this one I wanted to talk about um, building a sense of self. And as some of you who grew up in dysfunctional or alcoholic, narcissistic type families, you'll know that our sense of self is basically MIA. It's either sort of semi-absent, heavily impaired, or narcissistically inflated, or frankly delusional, like kind of a inaccurate sense of self as well. Well, that kind of applies across the board, in like various directions. But anyway, I was just kind of sitting here thinking, like, sometimes I feel like a lot of despair, because I'm sitting and I feel sometimes like no matter what I do, no matter how much journaling, how much therapy, how much books I read, and et cetera, like self improvement activities that I do, um, healing work, not self improvement per se, but trying to reclaim myself and like understand and take care of myself, as an adult now after a rough childhood, one where I was neglected quite a lot, is like can I what can I do to like reestablish um like a real sense that I own myself, um that I can have like a proper perspective on myself, what failed to happen when I was young, right? When I was even an infant was um good enough reflection of my own person back to me, right? I did not receive that. Anyone who grew up with impaired parents like that, emotionally impaired parents, didn't receive that. We received their projections much more than our reflection, and because they just weren't able to supply that, they were impaired, you know. And so like what I kind of came up with is maybe these videos, and this is an idea that I've had before, but just connecting it now to that sort of like restoring that sense of that really like deeply rooted like solid sense of self that I feel that I kind of like lack, and I walk around kind of just forgetting who the fuck I am. And like even when I do something cool, even when I do something impressive or most people would find impressive, it's like I don't feel that. I don't feel it like deep down. There's a kind of like rootlessness about it, or almost kind of like quality like that was someone else who did it, And like I have trouble like fully owning it, and like fully, like taking it on as like my own. That's something that came from me, that's connected to me, So I'm thinking, this is a type of mirror, right? Like I'm staring into my phone, I'm speaking right now, I'm hearing my words, and I'm watching me say the words even. And perhaps like this as a practice will kind of help me to connect a bit deeper with myself, even if, you can't entirely, see my face here, but you know what I'm saying. Like you can see that it's me, I'm a real person, and I want to, basically demonstrate that to myself, in a very concrete fashion. So, anyway, yeah, just some reflections on that. Building a sense of self, from scratch.